Revelation 4:6-7. In the center, around the throne, were 4 living creatures, and they were covered with eyes, in front and in back. The first living creature was like a lion, the second was like an ox, the third had a face like a man, the fourth was like a flying eagle. According to the interpretation of Franz Boll, the lion corresponds to the constellation Leo, the ox to Taurus, the human being to Scorpio, and the eagle to Pegasus. Boll based his view on the bright stars that are located in the constellations. Leo's brightest star is Regulus, the little king, Taurus contains Aldebaran, and Scorpio Antares. Royal stars are found in the 4 signs Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius and Taurus. Boll claimed that Regulus, Aldebaran, Antares, Alpha Pegasi were the royal stars of Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius respectively. These 4 signs, located more or less along the celestial equator, sheds light on the phrase in the midst of and in the cycle of the throne. Mithraic Mysteries. The use of astrology in locating the 4 living creatures around the divine throne in Revelation is remarkably similar to the way that in the Mithraic Mysteries the torchbearers, Cautes and Cautopates, can be identified with the bright stars Aldebaran, in Taurus, and Antares, in Scorpio, so as to relate to the figure of Mithras in the Tauroctony seen as companions of the god. Revelation 12. A great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet and a crown of 12 stars on her head. She was pregnant and cried out in pain as she was about to give birth. Then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on its heads, encircled by the zodiac. A woman clothed with the sun, with the moon under her feet, bearing on her head a crown of 12 stars, is surely Queen of Heaven. The crown of 12 stars recalls the zodiac. Ancient Greco-Roman iconography also featured the depiction of a figure, e.g., Jupiter, Heracles, Helios/Sol, Pan, or figures, e.g., Dionysus and Ariadne, Helios and Selene, encircled by the zodiac. Such encircling appears frequently in the iconography of the Mithraic Mysteries. His birth from an egg, or rock, or Tauroctony, banquet of Mithras. Sun as light crown. The circle of stars encircling the woman's head would have been readily understood in cosmological and astrological terms to signify that the woman is standing in the midst of the zodiac. The sun's annual journey through the signs of the zodiac confers upon her, as it were, a garment. The imagery is similar to the Egyptian view of the moon and sun as a bark in which the gods traverse the sky and the underworld, and, in the Mithraic Mysteries, the scene in the side panels to the Tauroctonies in which the bull, likely to be identified with the moon, rides in a boat or lunar crescent. Since in Egyptian religion the sun and moon were regarded as vessels traveling through the heavens, the entry of the sun Dicinto, one of the zodiacal signs, entailed covering that sign with its rays, so Thath's sun thus became a light garment. A great red dragon understanding the woman in Revelation 12 astrologically as Virgo is also supported by the next image described in the text, a dragon, which corresponds to the constellation Hydra. The introduction of the dragon closely parallels the heavenly woman presented in Revelation 12:3-4. And I saw another portent in heaven, a great red dragon, with 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 diadems on its heads. Its tail swept down 1/3 of the stars off heaven and threw them to the earth. Then the dragon stood before the woman. Isis and Seth, Typhon. The primary confrontation in Revelation 12:1-6 takes place between the woman and the dragon. This is paralleled in the ancient astrological location of Isis and Seth, Typhon, in the northern hemisphere. For example, a royal grave from Thebes refers to the 4th eye of Seth located in the northern heaven, which is the seat of Isis, who guards Seth in chains. In ancient Egyptian cosmology, Seth was identified with the 7 stars of Ursa Major. Like Isis guarding the 7-starred Seth, the writer of Revelation portrays the Son of Man holding 7 stars in his right hand. Revelation 1:16. In his right hand he held 7 stars, and coming out of his mouth was a sharp, double-edged sword. His face was like the sun shining in all its brilliance. Hydra, the image of the third of the stars being swept down by the dragon's tail, can be understood as a reference to the sheer extent of the constellation Hydra across the heavens. Ancient astrological texts refer to Hydra stretching across 4 of the signs of the zodiac, from Cancer to Libra. Similarly, the 7 heads, 7 diadems and 10 horns of the dragon are likely more than just examples of apocalyptic number symbolism. It is significant that Corvus, the raven, and Crater, the cup, the 2 constellations lying immediately adjacent to Hydra and frequently associated with it, e.g., in the Mithraic Tauroctony scene, have 7 and 10 stars respectively.